So it's quite a nice day for a Winchout really. This was done quite a while ago when the weather was quite a bit cooler, thank God. But yeah, so you can see there, Dustcart leaning over in a ditch, and really round our way, they're not too uncommon, you know what I mean? Unfortunate for them, fortunate for us, that we do get a fair amount of them. In around Hertfordshire you've got some tight little windy lanes, and sometimes they do, they get themselves in a bit of bother. What's up? What are you worried about?
I was just going to pull that up in case as it goes down it catches the bush as well.
Yeah, it might do a bit. Do they fold up?
Yeah,
oh.
Just like you rip it off, innit?
Just, yeah. Well, you know yourself, do you know what I mean? The arse end's going to come around, innit?
Yeah.
Whether they'd rip it off or not. I don't know.
You're right now, son. There's a load of cars parked along here earlier.
Really?
Yeah, and he said to me, like, you've got to be careful. They went down the ditch that side before.
That's, yeah.
Yeah. So
if you're going to pick a side to go down, I'd much rather this side.
Stick to the right, so I went to the right, went around, we got that bush there, I couldn't really see my mirror, and it just fucking slipped down.
Fuck going in there.
Yeah, we've been in there, we've been that side before.
Or not. Now normally I wouldn't post a video of me winching out a Dustcart because I do quite a lot of them. Personally I don't find them that interesting. However, this one was a little bit different. Whereas normally I'd get my top boom up, lift the suspended side using a cable to pull it forward. On this occasion I couldn't do that. On this occasion the Dustcart was actually leaning up against a telegraph pole that had power lines running through it, and had a transformer. So although the Dustcart itself wasn't leaning over too bad, I couldn't just pull it forward because I was running the risk of actually pulling that all over, pulling the telegraph pole over that had the transformer and the power lines. So I had to do something a little bit different. Oh, before make sure you catch me on the second bant. So because I couldn't use my top boom and I needed to pull it away from the telegraph pole and then power lines, I decided that I was going to actually go, instead of actually lifting the fallen side, I was actually going to pull it away with like a low downward side pull. So I mean, it's nice out here, isn't it? I mean, calm, tranquil, isn't it? Bit boring view, is it? We spend most of our lives in London, mate. This is bliss. So there's a couple of ways I could have done this, but I opted for doing all of my rigging on one cable. So I was going to be pulling forward and pulling it away from telegraph pole with one cable. That meant that I had one cable left should something go wrong. Now if it wasn't going the way I liked, or you know what I mean, if I got myself in a bit of a sticky situation, I could then use that second cable to get me out of trouble. So that was the reason I decided to do it this way. Now Dustcarts are always nice when it comes to rigging, you know what I mean. They've got big pins at the front, they're just nice, and on the top they have lifting points where they'd lift that equipment on and off to the chassis. Now they're perfect to utilise if you want to lift or if you want to pull sort of thing. So how my rigging was going to be set up, it was going to be from the recovery truck to the front of the casualty vehicle, off to the tree, and then up to the side of the casualty vehicle, pulling it away from the telegraph pole. So when you're using the tree, always go at the base of the tree. That's where it's most sturdiest. Obviously you don't want to go halfway up the tree, then you run the risk of actually pulling that tree over, and that's the last thing you want to do. Once the snatch block is rigged to the tree, run the cable through it, and then from there we're going up to the top of the Dustcart, and that's going to be pulling away from the telegraph pole. So I've already placed a shackle on the top of the Dustcart, but now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use another 12-ton strop, thread that through the shackle that's at the top, and then attach the cable to that. The reason I'm not going to attach the cables straight to the top of the casualty vehicle is because the higher you have to lift them cables, the heavier they get. So if I can use a 12-ton strop to meet me halfway down the middle, this just makes life a little bit easier for me. There we go. You can see there them lifting points. They're perfectly placed, really. There we go. Thread that strop through the D-shackle. Thread the pin back in. Drop it back down, and we'll grab the cable and then, yeah, hook it in.
Best thing you could do for us, mate, is when you put it out, smash the truck up a bit.
Rip a few hydraulic lines out, yeah?
That way I can't carry on, I'll take me over to come back.
I won't do that because they'll just... There you go. I've got the cable there, and like I said, having that strop hanging halfway down the casualty vehicle just makes it that little bit easier for you. You don't have to lift that big heavy cable up too high. So get that threaded in there, close the clasp, and then that is pretty much our rigging done. Obviously, get down, put the ladder away, and then it's time to take the slack in. And then when you take the slack in, always take a couple of minutes just to stand back and just reassess your angles. See where the cables are, make sure you're not going to snag on anything, make sure it's as you had it in your head. And then after that, it's, yeah, take it in and then just see how she moves, see how she reacts. So we see the cables coming in now. And the first, I suppose, 10 seconds, when you're trying something you've not really done too many times before, you're up against a telegraph pole. First sort of like 10, 20, 30 seconds are sort of like the worst, because you're just waiting to see how it reacts, You're trying to see, are you getting any movement? Then you want to see, how's that tree that you're snatch blocking off? Is that still there? Do you know what I mean? The last thing you want to do is wind in, not pay attention to that tree. Next thing you turn around and the tree's, 6 foot further forward than it was when you started. So
handbrake on.
Them first 30 seconds is all about just eyes everywhere. See what everything's doing. And then, winch for a bit, stop, walk to the back. So now clear of the telegraph pole. But unfortunately the support cables, we were still on them. So it was going to be... It wasn't going to be as easy as I thought. I thought once we were away from the telegraph pole, that'd be it. Unfortunately them cables were still snagging. So this was going to be little by little, foot by foot. And we were going to take our time, get it away. Again, grand. That we're away from the telegraph pole. That was actually supporting the transformer. But I still don't want to snag one of them support cables because they can still pull that whole thing over. Keep winching, keep concentrating, keep paying attention to what it's doing, and then little by little, hopefully she'll come out. So I took it so far forward. And it got to a certain point where I was not particularly happy with the angle coming off the front of the casualty vehicle. So I was going from the fair lead down to a low pull to the casualty vehicle, then off to the tree. What was happening was the angle that was coming from the casualty vehicle to the tree was then starting to just go above 45 degrees angle. It was getting close to 45, so I thought I'd stop there. And what I decided to do was throw another snatch block in. So then I was going from the recovery truck, the casualty vehicle, back to the recovery truck, then off to the tree, up to the side of the casualty vehicle. It just meant that I wasn't going over 45 degree angles and then the snatch blocks. It also meant I could carry on bringing it forward until she was fully out. I was going to have to take it further forward than I thought. I was hoping that once I cleared the telegraph pole I'd be good, I can then just give her the beans and pull her forward. I think she can use that second cable just to pull her out quickly. However, them support cables snagging, yeah, kind of put an end to that idea. It very quickly became clear that no, we're going to have to take this quite a way forward to make sure she cleared them support cables. But there we can see there. You can see the rigging slightly changed, but the same principle. You can see the angle that we've got coming off the tree, the top of the casualty vehicle. You can see it's a good angle here. You can actually see how everything's working. Slowly but surely, the casualty vehicle is creeping forward. Now with so many snatch blocks thrown in, obviously it's going to be quite a slow winchout. Snatch blocks are fantastic, obviously. They double up your pull, but every time they double up your pull, they halve your speed. So, pros and cons. Halving your speed can be good because everything happens a little bit slower. You get more time to react, you see problems occurring. However, it takes long. So, if you get to a certain point, in every winchout, you get to a certain point where the danger is over. I mean, you know it's out. It's just a case of carrying on and getting it to hard standing, fully hard standing. Yeah, when it's going extremely slow, it can be a bit tedious. But, with everything in our industry, there's a trade-off. You want power, you lose speed. You want speed, and then you lose power. But no, you can see it now. There you go now. So she's pretty much fully out now on hard standing. I was quite happy now. I'd have de-rigged and let the driver actually drive it out. But after consulting him, the driver was a little bit wary. He didn't want to try and drive it out in case it slid in. They weren't happy with me driving it. The customer wanted us to carry on winching. Didn't really see the point. It was out. I could have driven it out from there. However, sometimes when the customer's adamant, it's easier just to just agree and go, fair enough. If it takes me another 10 minutes winching, so be it. So that's what we did. Again, free spoil in, pull forward, and we'll just bring her all the way out. At the end of the day, they're on the clock, they're paying. Don't want you to carry on winching, and so be it. So I've not come across that before. Dustcart up against a telegraph pole, so I thought I'd add the video. You never know, it might help somebody out. If you're in a sticky situation like that, you never know, you might just remember the dull idea that Sean had once. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Laters.